Okay, we are good to go.
Okay, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone. Uh, Welcome to the student track session 1 of the IEEE Region 10 SYWL 2020. Yeah, my name is Supavati Aramwit, and I am the general co-chair of this SYWL, and also I am the Region 10 Second and Chapter Committee Chair. I am the member of Educational Activity Board, and especially for the importance of this session that we have today, I'm proud to say that I am the HKN professional member. I was inducted in November 2015, and I'm also the faculty advisor of the IEEE-Eta chapter at the Chulalongkorn University, Bangkok, Thailand. So today the session is about HKN. I'm proud to be the moderator of this session, and just to give you a very short caption about HKN. So HKN we call IEEE Eta Kappa Nu. So it is the honor society that comprise of the professional and university students who have demonstrated scholarship, character, and attitude. Okay, and then also at the same time as an IEEE member, they perform the volunteer, they perform a community excellent community service. Okay, so somehow that quality has them to induct into this honor society. Okay, so if we see each other, I mean, we are the IEEE at the Kappa Nu member. So it's identified that we are the technical leader through this community service, leadership practice, and lifelong experience. So today's session, we are very glad to have several of the two distinguished keynote speaker, and then also our plenarist speaker, and then also on the panel discussion. Let me briefly introduce. First, we have Nancy Austin. She is director of IEEE at the Kappa Nu. She will come to give a welcome address. And next is Edward Rasech. So he is a current 2020 IEEE at the Kappa Nu Society president. Later, he will also give some talk to say what is HKN. And then we have Professor Lawrence Wong. So I believe Region 10 would be very familiar with him. He is a past director of IEEE Region 10, and also, I mean, also the former vice president of the MGA, and also the director in conference operation. And next, we have Michael L. Benson. He is the HKN Governor, Region 3 and 4, also the chair of the membership and chapter committee. And we have Sandro Santoni. So he's also the student governor of the IEEE HKN, and also the corresponding secretary of the new chapter of the HKN. And later we have the panel discussion speaker. So that come from the chapter president, okay, of the chapter that we have in the Asia Pacific. So first we have Mr. Kandan Kumar. So he is a chair of the IEEE Musai at the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. And then we have the Miss Thitapon Kanok Ratana. So she is the HKN chapter president of the Mu Theta. And then we have Obo Sao. So he's a HKN chapter president of University of Queensland, Mu Kappa. Okay, and I'm glad to be the moderator of this session today. So let's first hear from Nancy Austin. Right, so she will give the welcome address. So Nancy, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Supavati. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to all of you in Region 10 for inviting me and some members of my board and other participants, volunteers, and Etta Kappa Nu to be with you today. We're really delighted for this experience. We're really excited about the chapters we have in Region 10, what they've been able to accomplish, and really what Etta Kappa Nu can do for you personally, for your chapter, for your university, for your career. As a student and as a professional. So we're real excited for this opportunity and looking forward to expanding and being able to reach out to more people. Supavati has been extremely helpful with us expanding into Region 10, and so is Dr. Wong. So we're really grateful to them for the chapters that we do have. And again, like I said, I'm members of my board of governors. One thing I'll point out is that we have our president and Michael Benson, our member in chapter committee and region committee member, but we have a student governor on with us today. Etta Kappa Nu is run by a board of governors, so we're 13 members of the board of governors. We work through educational activities at IEEE, and of those 13 board members that run the governance and oversight of Etta Kappa Nu, I am the staff member responsible for Etta Kappa Nu. I've been there 8 years. But like I said, Sandro Sortoni's on the phone today. He's one of our student governors. We're one organization in IEEE that actually has voting students on the board. They actually have a say in the direction of the organization. We're really proud of that. Our student governors bring so much richness, so many great ideas, and so much to our program. So one of the questions I get a lot, and I particularly outside of the United States, is what is an honor society? What does that mean? Why would we have an honor society? Well, as you'll learn, Etta Kappa Nu was formed in 1904, so we've been around a really long time and part of IEEE for 10 years, just celebrating our 10 years with IEEE. But an honor society is a very well-established concept in the United States. There are many honor societies. There's an honor society for just about every discipline. So this is very accepted and very well known and a very established concept. Employers understand the concept of an honor society. What does it take to be invited to join an honor society? What do you have to achieve in order to be part of an honor society? And quite frankly, the expectations of you as being part of an honor society. So I know this has been a concept that's spreading throughout the world. We know it's a new concept for you, and I'm always happy to talk to you about that and how that applies in a future conversation that we can always have. I do want to say the one thing that I tell people about Etta Kappa Nu is never given, it's always earned. So those that are Etta Kappa Nu have earned the right to call themselves Etta Kappa Nu through their scholarship, through their scholarly attainments, what they've shown, the commitment they've shown as students, because you only get to be the top of your class by working very, very hard. But there's more. There's the attitude, and we talk about common sense and how you organize your life and how you treat others, how you reach out and help others in the community. And there's that character part of it, which really is about ethical behavior, and it is about community service. So Etta Kappa Nu is not about what you get, it's about what you get to give. And we always say people that give back and do a lot in their communities, within their universities, within their companies, people that give to others really learn a lot themselves. So by giving to others, by just demonstrating your scholarship, attitude, character, you actually build your own professional skills, you build your resume, but also your value as a member of your community, a member of your university, a member of your company, and then really all of who you are as a professional. So it's really a great pat on the back. It's in a way, it's a recognition of your accomplishments. Mary Ward Callan, who's the managing director of technical activities IEEE, usually says it's like the fellows program for students. So this is a way to recognize early in their career as a student, young people who have really distinguished themselves through their accomplishments. It does recognize them for that, but then allows them to have another way in which to develop themselves, to give back to their communities, to develop their own skills, their professionally as well as an engineer, to create what we call the complete engineer, one where scholarship, attitude, character is balanced, like in our Wheatstone Bridge, you'll see in our symbol, to live a balanced life and to be a professional engineer. So we really are excited to share this concept with you. Etta Kappa Nu is a Greek name, and our name HKN comes from the translation of those Greek letters, Etta, Kappa, and Nu, ergo HKN. So like I said, I'm delighted to be with you today. I'm delighted to have my president, Ed Resnick, and Michael Benson, Sandro, and the other presidents of our chapters in Region 10. Thanks so much for having me, and I look forward to continuing the conversation in this meeting and after.
Okay, thank you very much, Nancy. So that would give us uh, a little bit more about what HKN is about, and I like when you say that is a like a fellow status of the student. Yeah, I think this is very encouraging. Yeah, and it's very special. Yeah. So next, I would like to welcome Dr. Edward Razek, IEEE HKN President. So he will talk about the broad canvas of the Etta Kappa Nu Society, overview, benefit, and insight of the Etta Kappa Nu operation. So Ed, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. And I'm trying to share my screen, which has the presentation. There was for a second.
I did send over Ed's presentation. Oh, there you go. Okay, thanks.
Is it showing? Yeah. I'm sharing. One. I'm trying to help share my screen. Oh, I think I'm okay. I think I'm sharing my screen. Can we see the screen? Can you guys see the screen?
Yes, you can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'll move down to the next one. This is the introduction slide. This is the topic, is the title of the section within the students panel session today. So the title of this thing was the broad canvas of Etta Kappa Nu. Nancy talked a little bit about it, but this is a little bit of flavor. It's very much so it's like and at that yeah. So all this if we go to the student Etta Kappa or it's a much broader scope that
Sorry, Ed, we cannot hear you clearly. We cannot hear you clearly. It is possible you could use microphone or something. It's not clear, your voice.
I can't really make it better other than just going to.
Dr. Ed, would you like to turn
Yeah.
off your video and yeah, it would be better to turn off your video.
Yeah, I'll try to stop. We're going to stop the video. And
Yes.
is it better?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so what I was saying on the slide which you can see is that Eta Kappa Nu merged into IEEE in 2010 and became a larger construct because it includes all the fields of engineering, all the fields of discipline, and the IEEE fields of interest, which are quite broad. And from an organizational standpoint, it reports to the educational activities operating. This session here is put on by the member and geographic activities. Educational activities is a parallel group within IEEE. We report into the educational activities, which then reports into the board of directors, the same that MGA or Region 10 eventually reports to the board of directors. So I have to advance to the next slide. Next is and it's structured entirely around chapters, and the chapters are located at different units. And the chapters all operate autonomously within the guidelines of the parent IEEE Eta Kappa Nu, the administrative organization that Eta Kappa Nu gives to them. And basically we flow down from the IEEE structure about how the chapter is supposed to operate. And all the speakers we have here today, with the exception of the section, people primarily with the panel, they're all people from the parent organization, and the organizing body of Eta Kappa Nu, who we represent, who is the parent Eta Kappa Nu group. So Eta Kappa Nu itself, IEEE Eta Kappa Nu, is really all focused on the chapters, and we have about 270 worldwide, and there are 10 in Region 10. And there's about 3,000 new members inducted annually, and every year, the people in the chapters at the universities perform about 100,000 hours of service to the community, the university, and to other students. These community hours, the 100,000 hours of volunteer time, are all determined by the different chapters. And so all these 270 chapters together put out about 100,000 hours of volunteer time to help the university, help the profession, and help the students. And I said this is the parent organization, so the question I want to point out a little bit about structure of Eta Kappa Nu. So what does the parent Eta Kappa Nu group do to chapters? Well, we provide a governing and operating structure. We put down the requirements for the minimum number of officer positions and define what the officer positions are, have a job description for the chapter officer positions. So the chapters know what positions they're supposed to fill, what the requirements are for those positions, and the construct around how the chapters are operated. Like officer training and leadership training through various different mechanisms throughout the organization, throughout the years. And we also provide some tools to help the chapters operate. And some examples of this is that we maintain a website that all the chapters have pages on. We have various social media outlets, so all the chapters can go through Eta Kappa Nu, whether they're dealing with any kind of social media. They can also have their own, so we provide a overarching social media ability for them to communicate external to the world. And then we also have a lot of chapter communication and networking opportunities. We provide a lot of those to the chapter. So that's what we do. And this is only a very, very top level view of what we do. There's many, many more things that we do. There's very different operating committees, like membership and chapters, who take care of that. You hear from later on, Michael Benson. We have awards committee. We have a communications activities, publications of publicity and communication committee. A lot of main operational activities that Eta Kappa Nu has to do to maintain itself and to maintain support the chapters are really body and reorganize themselves and compartmentalize what tasks to do, what functions are needed to be able to and to support ourselves. The parent group also does some publishing. We publish a chapter newsletter that goes out to all the chapter offices, all chapters. We publish an alumni newsletter that goes out to all the alumni. And we have a professional community magazine called The Grid. And this goes out to some 40,000 people internationally. All the chapters get them, the alumni get them, and other people who are professional members get them, and anyone else who are trying to communicate the values and activities that are happening. We support this magazine and for those abroad with people. And the IEEE Eta Kappa Nu also hosts various conferences. The conference, and one of them is the Pathways to Industry Conference, and I'll say a little bit more of those later. So next slide is like what we were trying to do and where we were trying to go as an organization. Since the merger with the IEEE in 2010, there's been some significant changes to the scope of Eta Kappa Nu and the focus of Eta Kappa Nu and what Eta Kappa Nu is doing. So we are changing our focus subtly but very strongly to focus on making better opportunities available to students that we have. The Student Leadership Conference, which was originally a conference that chapter officers brought together to share common skills, common problems, successes, and common other issues. This is being turned now into the professional skill development conference, where we do a lot of things to help become a better, stronger member of their professional community faster. So we provide training on tools that are needed in the profession that no one learns in the classroom. So we have negotiating skills, we talk about the financial skills and communication skills. We try to communicate that in a manner that the students can appreciate why it's so important to have these things in your toolkit as you move off into the industry. So there's more to what the companies or universities effectively than just having a degree from accredited universities. They expect other skills, and we try to help the students obtain those skills. Lifelong learning activities that are in place. We try to help the students have these kinds of skills as they go on through their career. So it begins with a student member, and we still are Eta Kappa all throughout the professional career. We're trying to do more things as we go along to try to help the students in the undergraduate school and then help them as they enter their profession. And we also have a new program that was sort of and the Pathways to Industry right now is very similar to what I described. Explain to students what kind of professional skills are necessary once you leave university. We're trying to tell them things when they're undergraduate students, what to expect when you work at a company. We try to tell them things like negotiating skills, what you would need to know if you don't learn in school, how you the environment which companies really require. Other things about the performance introduction letter to this company. We try to tell them information about that. The university doesn't teach them, but we can teach to them from our skill base. Part of the skill base is the alumni. So we have a lot of alumni who like member alumni. And we are trying to get more and more involvement in those alumni to help the students, help the chapters. A lot of career guidance, a lot of things. Like I said, the people who are like members or academia to learn things. And when we first start a job or start a career at university, you learn. I wish I hadn't done that. We're trying to be able to use the alumni to communicate that kind of information back to the staff and help the students be better prepared when they enter the workforce, either in academia or industry. And we go along the way. We really do want to partner with the professionals. We want to partner with MBA and the region. And as I said, we're very happy to be invited to this event today and this weekend because one of our strategic goals with the Eta Kappa Nu is to become more of a partner with the sections and regions and become more present, get more involvement with the student branches than we have right now, more involvement with the sections. And that's one of our goals, and we're trying to do that on a continual basis as we go forward. That's another thing that's been changed since we merged in with the IEEE. We didn't have anything like that prior to that. Now we focus on that and become a much better, stronger organization by partnering with other strong organizations in the IEEE right now, and move the organization forward and then help improve where we offer to the students. That's the end of. If there's any questions, we can answer them now, or wait till the next discussion later on. Probably best to wait till the next discussion.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, Ed, for the presentation. So we know now where HKN is leading, and also like the strategic plan. So I hope we could have time to discuss with you during the networking session. So next, I would like to welcome Michael Benson. Yeah, so he will talk about the HKN global perspective, best practices, and chapter success strategy. So Michael, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Michael Benson, and I'm thrilled to be here. It's great to follow our president, Ed Resnick, who gave a great overview of the society. I'm going to follow that up a little bit. Let's see here. Hopefully you can see my screen. Excellent. So I've been asked to provide a global perspective as well as best practices, tips, and tricks for successes, and will happily do so. I'm going to provide a little bit of a recap, I suppose, as to what our society is and what we're doing, and then kind of provide commentary on that as to how it relates to what our fantastic chapters in Region 10 are doing, how to create a new chapter for those that are listening that might be interested, and ways we can go from there. So looking forward to going through this with you, and looking forward to some questions at the end and or during the networking piece. So as both Nancy and Ed mentioned, as a quick recap, we were founded as an honor society back in 1904 at the University of Illinois, and we merged 106 years later with the IEEE and became the honor society of the IEEE, and our purview expanded at that point. Up until 2010, we were in the United States only, and since 2010, we've expanded globally. And we are recognized around the globe, and certainly in Region 10, as the one honor society, whatever that might be, that represents the highest values of our profession. And Nancy mentioned this as well, that once we left the United States, a challenge that we've had to address is trying to help folks understand what is an honor society, because in many places they don't exist. So as we are exporting this from the United States, trying to find the niche in each area around the world as to what is Eta Kappa Nu in Region 6, in Region 8, and here in Region 10. So I'd be remiss if I didn't note that just celebrate our 10-year anniversary with the merger with IEEE, and we have over 200,000 alumni from that entire period, right? So from the 1904 start through today, and we continue to initiate and induct folks every day. Nancy and Ed both spoke to our founding principles of scholarship, character, and attitude, and we truly believe that a good supply of common sense is really required to make the acquired knowledge, information, and ideas more useful. So let's first talk about how would you form a chapter. So there are a few criteria. You have to be an institution of higher education that awards a Bachelor of Engineering, a Bachelor of Science, or an equivalent degree. And then also, two, the program within the IEEE field of interest, again, from our history would be electrical engineering, then we expand to computer engineering, computer science, but we have some programs that might be biomedical engineering, mechanical engineering, etc. Again, as long as it's related within the IEEE technical fields of interest and related to our core programs there, The degree program must be accredited. Again, as we travel around the world, there are regional and country level accreditation bodies, and so long as they're signatory to one of the major accords, that works for us. And if your program at your institution meets these criteria, let's talk. We'd love to have a chapter. What happens then is an inquiry, a petition rather, be submitted to the society via our website, hkn.org. Faculty, students, administrators all work together to construct a petition that will go to our board of governors that Ed chairs and that Sandra and I serve on. And petitions reviewed by multiple folks, and then if approved, a new chapter is chartered. And we're going to talk about the chapters here in Region 10 in a second, and some of the best practices both within the region and beyond. But just note that kind of globally, we look to the benefits, right? What is the benefit of an Eta Kappa Nu chapter, say, relative to an IEEE student branch or anything else? And they're really synergistic. An HKN chapter, Eta Kappa Nu membership, as it says, is designation. It's a recognition of high achievement, but also being well-rounded, having a positive attitude. Employers around the world recognize this, and we're doing a great deal to continue to promote this. There's certainly networking opportunities, and there are a variety of other things too. So access to key university decision makers, but also sharing a tradition with over 200,000 people, which is really fantastic. So we've talked about that, and now getting into some of the best practices, right? As we say, what are the benefits to the university of a chapter? Well, you can see on the slide here the various programs we offer, from outreach, social activities, tutoring, and what have you. These are all best practices, right? Our chapters engage in STEM outreach. Our chapters engage in tutoring, hosting technical activities, which we'll show shortly, providing networking, but ultimately providing a community. And I like to say that Eta Kappa Nu is truly a community of communities. Each chapter is their own community, and then they're a part of a larger community too. And then we add our alumni in, as Ed was speaking to. So as far as what makes our chapter successful is serving others, serving themselves, and providing that community for their members. And I should also note that every person that we induct since 2010 either is or becomes an IEEE member. So for those that are involved at the section or region level within the IEEE, you all know that Eta Kappa Nu chapters are a source of new IEEE members. Now, here are just a few things, some of the projects that our HKN chapters have engaged in over the last couple of years. It was mentioned earlier that we really do engage in service. We view community outreach, community service as a way to kind of live our value of our values of character and attitude, right? So to have a positive outlook, and also more importantly, to demonstrate your exemplary character through acts of service to one another and to your community. So who do we induct? Undergraduate students, graduate students, faculty members, and professionals in the world who have done meritorious work. Who are HKN members? I'm one. Many of us on the panel today are, certainly, but also we have some of the bigger names in tech that you can see there, and many, many more too. We have many of the past, present, and our future IEEE presidents are IEEE Eta Kappa Nu members. Now, looking now in Region 10, we have 11 chapters total, one of which is waiting to be installed. And of the 10, 2 are inactive. Let's look at some of the great things that they do. You'll see a trend here. So our Muta chapter at Waseda University has hosted a fantastic quiz game with our Nu chapter, where Sandro is the correspondence secretary in Torino, Italy, and our New Alpha chapter at in Spain. And then also outreach there. It's a global community. You can see in their flyer piece here, advertising, We have a little, this is from our website, where we put a little mark for the location of each of our chapters. And you can see we are certainly heavily concentrated in the United States, but absolutely growing around the world, and look forward, hopefully, to working with some of you to help grow even more in Region 10. But then they also hosted here a course, some coaching for one of the more challenging courses they offer at the university. And it was very well received. And this is just one example of taking that service mentality, coupling it with their high-achieving scholastic experience, and then turning around and serving others in their department, in their program, by having folks that did well in that course come back and tutor and provide guidance there. Our MUSI chapter, which we'll hear more from a little bit later, actually, the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore, has hosted a number of activities. You can see some there, but training and helping with some major science talks and a workshop on campus. So again, both technical and outreach activities are really fantastic. They are best practice, and they provide a service within the educational institution and within the profession too. Our Mu Alpha chapter in Kuala Lumpur really hosted a number of workshops. One in particular, with the pictures on the top there, are from their introduction to Arduino and the Internet of Things with Python over a couple of days. And then also, even when the pandemic hit, they transitioned along with the society into a remote operating posture and hosted, you can see there, like could be a Microsoft team. I'm not sure what that actually is, WebEx or Zoom or something else. But then they hosted a remote workshop on Microsoft Excel, our Mu Alpha chapter. Then our Mu Kappa chapter in Queensland certainly engages in a great deal of tutoring and industry visits. In this case, going to the an energy test lab, and again, a variety of different things. Really exciting opportunities for members and candidates alike. But all of these chapters are doing fantastic things and have found a niche in their local communities. So across Region 10, for the 8 active chapters for the 2019 to 2020 academic year, and I'll say we're still collecting this information, so these numbers will go up. The 8 chapters together contributed 5,192 hours of service. There were 64 activities reported. 33 people were inducted into our chapters in currently for this year, with 58 being reported for calendar 2019. Now, you might be asking, for those that are IEEE student branches, how do we know all this? Well, we ask our chapters after every meeting, event, or activity. We have a form that they fill out, and we get this information, and it provides that exchange between, as I put, the parent organization and the chapters. So we have a fantastic reporting, and it's something that is certainly also best practice through that documentation. That they'll be able to access that information, so there truly is a continuity, both with our local advisors, the chapter advisors, officer transitions, but then also through kind of the parent organization, the big IEEE-Eta Kappa Nu, based in Piscataway, New Jersey, that can then help provide information about what the chapter has done, what's been successful, what hasn't been over the years. So taking a bit of a larger look at things, there are a number of programs hosted by the Society that we invite all of our chapters and our members to participate in. So we're currently in the middle of the second Tetris competition. Our Malaysian chapter here in Region 10, a member of that chapter, won our inaugural Tetris competition. Congratulations there. But we are in the middle of the second one, so we look forward to see where in the world our next champion might come from. Very possibly here, but could also be somewhere else, so it's very exciting. And we actually stream those competitions, the later rounds of it, on our Twitch channel. So we encourage everyone to go check that out. As the pandemic hit, we developed our Virtual Tutoring Center Initiative, or VTCI, which takes advantage of our chapter's existing tutoring activities, links them together, and invites our alumni to participate. We'll be hosting our inaugural Eta Kappa Nu experience in about a month and a half, and truly exciting. It's more than just a virtual conference. It really will be a virtual community, virtual gathering as well. And as Ed mentioned, and Nancy as well, where possible, we do host an annual student leadership conference. We hope to be able to come back to that very soon. We have a magazine, which again leads to another best practice. As a society, we publish The Bridge 3 times per year. It is the second most downloaded publication in the IEEE app. If you haven't checked it out, I encourage you all. If you don't have the app, go get the app, and then go check out The Bridge. It is available to all IEEE members, and it really is a fantastic publication with technical information, professional development, and more. But just as the Society publishes The Bridge, a great best practice for our really outstanding chapters is to publish their own publication, a newsletter, a department, or kind of a college-wide publication, or even something just for their members. But it's a way, it truly is a best practice. We were founded on October 28th, and you can see here, I wanted to include this just to showcase some of the non-technical, non-service activities that our chapters host. As a community, right? Every chapter is a community. Communities need to have fun too, and beyond studying together, working together, striving towards common goals, being able to meet each other socially where possible. Obviously, these pictures were taken prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, but it's a way to again, find camaraderie with one another. Our chapters also nominate their members of the faculty, and others for our various awards. These are pretty prestigious, and just encourage everyone, if you're located with a current chapter, to check these out. And if not, if we can start a chapter, you'll certainly be able to see more about these. And then finally, just one little note here, a best practice. Eta Kappa Nu is at the forefront, and this is really due to the leadership of our Board of Governors, our President, Ed Rezek, our 2 student governors, certainly Sandro, who's here with us, and Kay Brinker, and then also our staff, led by Nancy Ostin, who is here, in adapting to the virtual world when the pandemic hit. And we actually launched the first global commencement ceremony for our professions, certainly within the IEEE and even beyond. It was a smashing success, and you can see a little bit about it there, but we truly did have a worldwide celebration of the Eta Kappa Nu members who graduated as an undergraduate degree or a graduate degree, and it was hopefully something that will continue going forward too. But it was a way that to recognize individual achievement and to continue to build community. So, what can you do? If your chapter, if your institution, if you're affiliated with an institution, you have an Eta Kappa Nu chapter, fantastic. If you don't, let's look to see if we can start one. If you're involved at a section level or region level or otherwise, include and invite our HKN chapters. They're a fantastic source of volunteers and really have people that are dedicated and committed. We do induct professionals, so please recommend to our chapters professionals that you think are worthy of recognition. Recommend alumni to participate in our tutoring initiative. And also for our region and section volunteers, you can now view your Eta Kappa Nu members within your region or society for society volunteers within OU Analytics. So that is an overview of Eta Kappa Nu in the global sense. We continue to expand globally. We certainly are collecting a great deal of information and providing feedback to our chapters on their activities. I've shared some of their best practices, and I'll say we're going to hear from our current and former chapter leaders within the region shortly. They'll provide additional detail as to some of their special sauce, what makes HKN run for them. And I certainly encourage you to ask them questions, and I'll be here as well. But with that, I'll just say if there's for more information, our director, Nancy, is available by email. I am as well. My email was provided earlier, and it's certainly in the bio for this event. I'll thank you all for listening, and if we have a moment, I can take a question here. Otherwise, we'll certainly be available later to take questions.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Yeah, I will due to the time, the question will be take, I think, in the at the end of this session. So thank you for giving all the information and also highlight some of the best practices in the Region 10. And also, I believe I'm glad to see that several outreach activity has become more and more. And now, even the chapter outside US, won't be out of reach. So I'm glad that the HKN take this initiative on that. Yeah. So next, I would like to welcome Professor Lawrence Wong. So he will talk more about region specific growth strategy for IEEE HKN and impactful program for chapter management. So Professor Lawrence, please.
Thank you, Supervadi. Let me just get my slides on. Right. Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I just have a few slides here, and I hope that some of the information that I will provide you will be useful. In fact, Michael covered a lot of what I was going to say. Right. So, but before I begin, maybe I will just say a little bit about myself first. All right. I'm currently an emeritus professor at the Department of Electrical Engineering at the National University of Singapore. I've been volunteering for a long time, so I'm pretty mature in that sense, almost aged in that sense. Currently, I'm holding a few positions. This is just a few of them. I'm the director of the conference operations with the Communication Society. I'm a member of the IEEE Governance Committee, and I'm also a member of the Region 10 Nominations and Advisory Committee. And these are some of the positions I've held in the past, such as president of Member in Geographic Activities back in 2015-2016, Director of Region 10, Chair of the Singapore section, Chair of the Computer Chapter, Computer Society chapter in Singapore. And below are some of the areas that I've been working on in terms of my research. All right, so you've heard about the number of various chapters from both Ed and also from Michael. So we have 12, two of which we are trying to get them active again, and one in the process of being formed. Okay, so these are the 12, and you can see in the countries that they come from. There is from India, Thailand, Taiwan, Pakistan, Singapore, Australia, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Japan. Okay, so indeed, as you have heard from both all the speakers so far, you know, you cannot join to be a HKN member. You are invited and inducted, and it's because of your scholastic achievements and your character. And so the burden is on us as inducted members to show great integrity and dynamism in what we do. You're imbued with a lot of creative talent, which we hope you can help to reach out to your community. The desire to support the disadvantaged, the underprivileged, and the marginalized, and that's where your community commitments and your community efforts come in. And to develop lifelong relationships. So networking is an important part of being a HKN member. And you build bridges so that you can uplift common good. So much of this has already been mentioned earlier, right? We can, you know, as part of the activities you can do within the HKN chapter in your respective institutions, you can organize workshops, and the workshop need not necessarily be related to technical stuff. It can be related to soft skills as well, industry visits, competitions, as you saw earlier. One of the things that you will certainly be much appreciated with among your peers is to do some sort of peer tutoring. And you've already seen again, Michael mentioned briefly about that. All right. humanitarian and social support, seminars and talks, and career planning. So these are usually the sort of things that are happening in the various chapters, HKN chapters across the world. So the other thing is partnerships. It's good to be able to partner with various entities, both vertically and horizontally. What I mean by vertical would be like, you know, your school, your department, and so on, your sections and so on. All right. But also horizontally would be like your student branch within your schools, with other peer HKN chapters within the same city, within the country, within the, you know, globally. All right. In addition to that, you can seek support from various sources, right, including the region, from the society itself. And if you do activities related to community support in terms of humanitarian technology and so on, you can also seek support from SITE. SITE is the Special Intergroups on Humanitarian Technology, and they have called for proposals, for example. So one of the things that is common to many of you is that unlike the student chapters, for example, unlike the affinity groups, you have a little bit of a disadvantage because you do not have rebates. So you also have to think about how to be enterprising such that you can get some form of resources to get your activities going. All right. So then again, these are the sources that you can work with. All right. So these are some of the examples that I think might be worth thinking about. This year's pandemic has made us all very good at doing virtual events, just as what we are doing right now. So, you know, we have the WebEx. Most of you in your schools, you may probably have Zoom accounts where you can set up Zoom sessions and so on. So take advantage of this, you know, where you can easily organize virtual events, not only within your own chapter, but maybe in partnership with other HKN chapters. All right, share your experiences and ideas with other HKN. If you go to the organization roster, you can, IEEE organization roster, you can see who are all the chapter, HKN chapter members within the respective chapters. So you can easily reach out to them, say, hey, let's do something together, you know, all right. You can organize cultural and student-related events across the region, not only within your locality. So you can expand the scope of what you're doing. And again, I mentioned that sometimes you need resources, so you have to also think out of the box to see what enterprising activities or events that you can do to generate revenue so that you are able to support the activities that you can. All right. And finally, to develop long-term sustainable support commitments from the department and or the section. So this is very important. I think generally in all the institutions, whether it's in the department or at the university as a whole, within the student body, there are usually sources of funding that are available for various clubs and so on. But at the same time, reach out to your sections. All right. You'll be surprised how receptive the sections are, because after all, you are a very distinguished community here. You are recognized for the achievements that you have made, and most sections, I would believe, would be very receptive to help you out if you reach out to them. So I think with that, I kind of come to a close to all my slides. All right. Yep. And that's about what I have to say. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Professor Lawrence. Yeah, for I mean giving like tips and direction for the HKN, okay, for their management. So I hope we have a chance to get your insights later on in this session. Yeah, thank you again. And next, I would like to invite Sandro Santoni, so the student governor. So he will talk about the reflection on triple E on the engage, equip, empower in student life. So Sandro, yeah, please. Can you share the screen?
Yeah, as I am with my phone right now, I would like to ask, I don't know, maybe Nancy to be the presenter. She has my presentation on her computer.
Okay.
1 second, I'll make her presenter.
Thank you, Nancy. Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Sandro Sartoni, and I am one of the two IEEE HKN student governors. Basically, my role is to be the student representative of all student members from all around the world. And I'll be talking about a reflection on EEEs that are engage, equip, and empower in students' life. So moving on to the next slide, please. Okay. So I would like to start with a reflection on students' life. So I believe that we students, we live a very unique experience. I mean, the joy of getting to know new people, the personal growth that shapes us into adults, not only from a personal point of view, but also from a technical point of view. Still, I think that sometimes students face challenges. In my experience, I have met a lot of students who are not satisfied with their current university path. They feel like, you know, attending lectures and hopefully passing exams, they feel like this is not enough. We are talking about ambitious people. We are talking about people who desire to acquire new skills and or who are willing to improve their university community and to serve other students. So moving on to the next slide, thank you. I believe that IEEE HKN is a great solution for all of these active and dynamic students. And as we were saying before, we have three core values: scholarship, character, and attitude. So yeah, obviously we value people who are able to achieve great scores on exams, but this is not enough. We want people who are willing to put some extra effort to put in practice their vision. And it's thanks to these resourceful students that our chapters can thrive. Now, how do we make sure that these active students are into our chapter? The first step is engaging new students. So moving to the next one, please. Our chapters have developed several ways to engage new students. We have, for example, presentations in class. We have, and this with the help of university professors, obviously. We have promotion through events. The pictures we were looking before has been taken on one of our hackathons in Turin, where we had the chance to introduce who we are as an association, and also social media campaigns, obviously. And it is thanks to these new members that our chapters can reach new goals from year to year. So obviously, we are always looking for new candidates. So now that we have engaged new students, moving to the next slide, we need to equip them. Next slide, please. So what does it mean to equip new students? Our members need to get all the tools they need, obviously, to implement their vision. Now, this can take many forms. It could be, for example, support from chapter officers, faculty advisor, knowledge from alumni. They may have faced problems previously we are facing right now. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel every time, obviously. And best practices shared in our chapter leaders code, which are calls we organize monthly, where every chapter officer from all the chapters from all around the world can share their best practices, obviously. And this is where our members learn new skills. And we're talking about hard skills, but also soft skills. And they get familiar with how IEEE HKN operates. And this is a crucial step because I'm not saying 100%, but most part of having a successful chapter is having prepared members. So if you have engaged members and you equip them and you give them all the tools they need to put in practice their vision, you have, moving to the next slide, empower students. So I would like to start by reporting some pictures. You can see international events, resume workshops, and moving on to the next one, members only technical events, and to the last one, most importantly, creating a community of friends. So you can see these are pretty much different pictures, different being that they come from very different places. Obviously, we are a worldwide organization, and what chapters do can change from chapter to chapter, from country to country, from IEEE region to IEEE region, obviously. So there is not a fixed way of achieving one's goal. But still, there is a common root here. And the common root is that people in our chapters are willing to improve their university community, and they are growing as people. Not only from a technical point of view, but also from a personal point of view, in terms of soft skills, in terms of leadership. I honestly cannot think of many associations. In fact, I cannot think of any association, at least to the best of my knowledge, that gives you an opportunity to develop leadership skills, learn how to manage and lead groups of people, learn how to raise funds, learn how to organize events and work within deadlines, learn how to interact with professionals and or professors, while still being a student in a global community. And I'm a proof of that, I mean. So yeah, this is just to say that HKN enables students who are willing to do more with these great opportunities, and it's just a matter of people wanting to do more. And this leads to the conclusion, which is last slides, sorry. This is what empowered IEEE HKN students can do from all around the world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sandro. Yeah, so yeah, help we do best to motivate our HKN like the student so that they could encourage so many more activities. Yeah. So next we come to the panel discussion, okay, on the best practices of the chapter, and today we have three representative chapter president. So they will go one by one. And yeah, because the time that we have, I believe you could fit the presentation of the chapter into like 5 minutes. So we still have toward the end for some of the Q&A. Yeah, so first I would like to introduce let me see. Yeah, maybe Kundan Kumar. Yeah, from Indian Institute of Science. Yeah, so please share your screen. So now the floor is yours.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for inviting me for this for IEEE Region 10, and I'm going to speak on the HKN platform. Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm Kundan Kumar. I'm the chair of IEEE ICA student branch and also as a chapter president for this MUSI chapter at Indian Institute of Science. Like Indian Institute of Science is one of the best university in India, and we are like 100-year-old, more than 100-year-old. And we constituted this chapter in 2017. So we are recently a new chapter in this region. This is entire my chapter look likes. Like we have affinity group like WISE and HKN, plus we have various societies, councils, and we come in the Bangalore sections. This was one of the induction ceremony we conducted back in 2 years back, and we were able to induct some 13 members. Most of them are senior members and life fellows. This is my member statistics look like. So we are trying to encourage more graduate students to become a member. And when we look like, when I see in the overall statistics of IEEE memberships, I have 164 IEEE memberships. Most of them are graduate member with 150, and IEEE fellows, we have 15. So we're trying to convince those who qualify for the inductions, so we can increase our member statistics of HKN. And this year we planned to have a membership in March, but due to pandemic, we had some uncertainty scenarios. So we shifted into October. So possibly we'll be doing our membership next month. When I talk about best practices, then we came with that something like event calendar. So we tried to have a various mix of activities, seminar, workshop, outreach. So we have very flagship events, some happening as Indian Institute of Science. One is Japan Tech Fair, like where we collaborate most with all the Japanese firms, universities, and host one-day technical and second-day cultural program, which is attended by more than 5,000 people. So we partner with them and try to spread our words and inspire people to on various platforms. Then we have Open Day. I'll talk about in a bit more. Then we have our own celebration day. We have outreach event, which I'm going to talk about a bit. Then we have a seminar and workshops. And this is pretty my calendar look like. We have some induction eligibility, which is in line to most of the HKN policies. So I'll just move this to next. Yeah, we have some specific membership drive campaigns, which we do on various IEEE organization and flagship event, where we come across all the IEEE chapters, we coordinate with other various activity section and councils, and in the meantime we try to spread about words about HKN to alumni members and all the people who can join us. Like coming to event, like there was some regarding rebates. So we are also part of university partnership program of IEEE, and we're one of the 17 university around the world. So we get some funding with UPP to do STEM activities in the region. So we try to partner with them and do events with UPP. So this is one of the outreach activities. In outreach activities look like this. We go to various universities and colleges across India, and we speak about what are the benefits of IEEE, plus some technical, if they want to host some specific like emerging areas in quantum computing or AI or any other domains. Then we have a group of expertise who become our mentor and ambassadors that can come from HKN itself, and they can go and take those outreach activities in that particular campus, and we bear all the logistics costs and this. Same coming to Open Day initiative. Open Day is like a general initiative taken by Indian Institute of Science itself, where university opens its door to general public to showcase its research and promote STEM among the community. It is attended by more than 30K to 50K people. So this is a very big platform for us. So here we try to bring almost all the chapters, affinity groups, and HKN itself. So we try to bring all the members of HKN to showcase their research and share their experiences on how can they join, like how they can carry out research, what STEMs look like to school kids, to graduate students. This is one of the flagship initiative we are part of. Like other initiatives, which includes, we have a joint exec meetings in association with other affinity groups and society chapters. We know better and sync up with them in terms of logistics and volunteer opportunities. We try to have minimum one exec meeting every month. Exec committee office tenures we fix at 2 years. We are trying to build this alumni coordinator roles because we have a very large pool of alumni, 100-year-old. We are 100-year-old institute, and HKN chapter started recently. So how can we bring alumni to be the part of this? Because they're established at various places, and we can leverage those talent and leadership in training and this. So we are trying to bring a alumni coordinator role who can take these positions. We are trying to associate with various departments at like ECS, we call it ECS here, Electrical Engineering Computer Science, at IIC to support a student and faculty seminar. If they want to discuss about their research or you want to tutor something Python classes, they can take our platform. And if they are HKN members, then they will invite them to be the part of this. We are doing with different community, we are alumni groups. We are trying to partner with the different like a department at the institute. And this is the major source of our funding, University Partnership Program. We are one of the 17 university. among the world to it. So we get some fundings from them, which we can partner and utilize for our own activities. This is pretty from my side, I think. If you have any questions, I can.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, Kundan, yeah, for presenting activity, and I believe that the partnership, many initiative, and also like an event calendar is very good idea.
Yes.
Like to keep up, and then also like, I mean, try to recruit member, and then yeah, have a chapter grow as well. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Next, we have the Miss Thitapon Kanok Ratana from the Eta chapter from Thailand. Yeah, so she will give presentation. So Ms. Thitapon, please.
Thank you very much. I couldn't share the slide.
Rishma, I have given presenter access. Can you try?
Could you give the access to another account? Because now I'm using mobile to speak. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Good to go.
Yes, okay. Can you see my slide?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Thitapon Kanok Ratana. And first of all, I would like to thank you, SYWL Student Track, for giving me this opportunity to present our Eta chapter. I am a HKN chapter president from Chulalongkorn University. So let's see if we can. Okay. So here is our chapter officers. Sorry, it's a bit slow here. Okay, so here is the chapter officers. So we have Associate Professor Dr. Supawati Aramvit as our faculty advisor, and most of our officers are graduate students in Chulalongkorn University. And here is the day when we had the chapter induction and installation ceremony back in 2016. So yeah, this is like the formal ritual. I could say that this is like the most formal event in my life, but it's actually the great experience for us. Okay, and from the induction, so we have done many activities, and we actually won the Outstanding Chapter Award from the committee. So we won the 2015 to 2016 IEEE HKN OCA winners, and our faculty advisor received the award at the event in Florida, USA back in 2017. And we had held many activities. For example, we used to have a virtual meeting with Kappa chapter from the University of Queensland, Australia, in 2017. So at that time, the Kappa chapter just started to form the team. So we had a discussion on how to form an effective team, how to recruit more members and assign tasks to each member. And, you know, it was a great experience to share different perspectives from each member. And then we have the activity like a visit from IEEE student branch, Telkom University from Indonesia, and IEEE HKN Eta chapter. So this held in our department, electrical engineering at CU, and the activities include the student activities experience exchange, and we also had the joint technical seminar between 2 chapters and the research lab visit. And in order to promote IEEE and to recruit more members, we need to go out and reach people. So this is a good opportunity for us to be able to promote the event in this exhibition and National Science and Technology Fair, which is a big event in Thailand that has like more than 1,000 participants from like many areas like students, researchers, teachers, business, or even industries. So in this one, we can recruit more IEEE professional and student members and can promote IEEE Thailand section and also our Mu-Data chapter. And we also present some of our research from the laboratory. So in this one, you can see there's a webcam camera which detect the face. So this one we show the face recognition, which draws a lot of interest from the audience. And this one is the teacher in service program. It's a training and workshop. And I could say that this is like the most frequent event that we held. So we had this one in Thailand for 3 times, and in Bali, Indonesia in SYWL 2018, another 1 time. And this has the participants from secondary school teachers from many different fields related to engineering. And there's 2 hands-on activities that we can train the teachers to, improve the critical thinking and the creative thinking, because they need to work as a team in which they don't know each other, and they need to build the device following the equipment that we provided. So it's really fun and a great experience for our officers as well. And from that activity, we get published from this TISP in the Bridge magazine. So it's really a great honor for us to be able to, to share experience to other IEEE members. And the next is also about the training and workshop, but this time we aim for the undergraduate students. So we reach the undergraduate students at the Muban Chonbung Ratchapat University, which is in Ratchaburi province. And we can promote IEEE Thailand section, IEEE HKN, and some fundings and activities from IEEE. And also we train students on how to write the effective proposal for digital or science competition in Thailand, or even in the level of international also. So they can have the idea of how to think or propose something and make it interesting. Next is the panel discussion on role of women in engineering. So this one, the IEEE Gujarat section in association with Madhavi University has organized this panel on the occasion of International Women in Engineering Day. So this one is really motivated and inspiring for women who tries to become an engineer or who tries to break into this research area, because like in this event we has like the lesson learned from becoming a leader. We also discuss about how to balance professional and personal life, especially in this pandemic time, and also giving advice for for women and young girls over there. And here is the fun part. So we usually celebrate HKN Founders Day on October 28th in every year. Mostly we celebrate in our university, and this is a good chance to meet all the members and to discuss community service plan and engage new members to join us and learn more on HKN. We also have other activities related to meeting, seminar, technical seminar, and also the distinguished lecture. Like for example, we have IEEE annual meeting Thailand section, which happen every year. We also a part of a committee in the International Conference on Multimedia Modeling, and be a part of the distinguished lecture in which we have the speakers who are the expert on the specific topic and to give a talk to us on the similar to our research area, and this is a very useful and very acknowledged for students. And yeah, and we also being a part of global seminar and IEEE Centennial celebration. And back in last year, 2019, we are also a committee in IEEE ICCE Asia, which is the great conference on the signal processing and this multimedia model processing also. So this one is really a great experience for us, and you know, it actually developed the management skills and leadership skills. So for our best practices, I would say that it is really important to expand the community network and to collaborate with leaders and trainees, and be motivated, creative, and passionate on what you do. Because because IEEE volunteering, it actually takes like a service mind, and you need to love what you do and be passionate about it, and also eager to learn new things, don't afraid to try new things, and teamwork, which is really important because we can't do anything like by yourself, like alone. So we need to have a good team, and yeah, let's success together. So that is all from the MU chapter, MU data chapter. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Tita Porn, for giving all the activities that has been done by the MU data chapters. Yeah. Okay, next we move to the Obo Sao from HKN chapter president from MU Kappa. Now the floor is yours.
Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Albo Zhou, and I'm currently the chair of IEEE HKN chapter in the University of Queensland. And I'm also working as a PhD student studying the University of Queensland. Sorry for the short notice that I'm currently, due to the pandemic, I'm currently stuck in my home country, so I don't have access to most of the files that we have in our HKN chapter. So I didn't prepare slides, so I would just give an oral talk to share some of our experiences. Our IEEE HKN chapter has now I think it's the first HKN chapter in Australia. And now we have around 15 members, including undergraduate students and graduate students. So, and Professor Tapan Saha is working as a faculty advisor for a chapter. So in terms of the best practices, I would like to illustrate 3 kinds of events that we had in the past. And I think both of these events has been very well received, and we have achieved these successful events. So the first and the most popular one is a site visit. We have organized several site visits every year, and I think that has been very attractive to our members and the students of our in our university. So we have been to AEMO Company, Australian energy market operator. So it is one of Australia's biggest power utility. We have visited there, and their manager has shown us about their control room where we can see the whole Australian national grid and how do they dispatch power and how do we like it is kind of it is very cool, and they also gave us a very informative presentation on what they have been doing with what kind of challenges they are having with the renewable integration and everything. And due that most of our members were in electrical background, so both of them have been benefited a lot from this kind of events. And we have also organized some site visit like solar farm. We have been to visited the solar farm of our Gatton campus, where we can actually see the solar panels and how that they work and how that they integrate to the grid. And yeah, it has benefited us a lot. And yeah, that's all for the site visit. And the second kind of events is like we are thinking that we as a HKN chapter, we should do something, we should do some contribution to our local community. So we have organized some kind of workshops. And I think one of them is we have organized a 3D print workshop in a local primary school, where we work together with the local teachers. We brought a 3D printer for the students to learn about the 3D modeling and design. We gave some talks on how 3D printing is used to the primary students, and we also delivered some workshops in which the students can make a 3D model themselves. I think it has been very meaningful because it is kind of our contribution to the local community, and it has also attracts the interest of the local primary students on their interest on science and technology and engineering. And the third kind of events is we are running the technical talks, several technical talks every year. And actually, we just had a virtual technical talk via Zoom a couple of weeks back, where we have invited two very successful entrepreneurs who used to work at the academia in our university, and now they are running a startup company based on the research outcome they have achieved, and they share their experience on how to commercialize your research outcomes. And we had a kind of a very heated discussion among our students and our guest speakers. I think it provided a very good insight for our students on their future career. And yeah, I think those events were the most representative events that we have been done in the past. And I think I learned a lot from the other chapters when I was listening to your presentations. And yeah, we hope to achieve more in the future. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. And yeah, we do hope that when the pandemic has a decreasing degree, you could return back to Australia. So thank you for giving us the information and about the activity of your chapters. Yeah, so I believe we are now running towards the end. So like all the presentation, I believe are very good, and I think it stimulate like the how we could like establish and run the chapter, and also like a good experience sharing as well. Like before we move to the closing, so can everyone please turn on the camera? So we would like to have one group photo for everyone on the screen. I hope the network should be fine now. I believe like toward the beginning is some kind of the technical glitch, so it's kind of slow. Okay, so we have Nancy, Sia. I believe the team as well. If you could turn on the camera, the team. We have good team here, and Sia, who is our general chair, also attend. Okay, I believe. Yeah. Maybe I will take one, and maybe also the team can also take one. So 1, 2, 3, smile. I think it should be fine. You want one more? Savi, you want one more? Are there any like HKN post? One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have this. So maybe now I would like to handing everything back to Savi. Yeah, so she will handle the closing remarks and on the session.
Thanks, Prof. I would like to call now Mozamil. We have a quiz session planned for our attendees. So Mozamil, would you like to brief very fast? We are running out of time. Mozamil?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hello, participants. Now it's time for the quiz session. The basic aim of the quiz is to let us know about the basic knowledge of IEEE and what information you have extracted from the session of the HKN. So moving on to the guidelines for the quiz session, which we have already shared with the team leads. So only team lead is eligible to take the quiz. Multiple entries from the same team will lead to disqualification. Duration of quiz is of only 3 minutes. So quiz is designed on the basis of the general knowledge of IEEE and from the SAC sessions. Only mention that email address in the quiz which you have been used during the registration of the SYWL. In the next slide, you will see the links with the timeline, session names, and how to access the quiz. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so this is basically the timeline. So team leads are requested to please visit the link of the respective session according to the date of the session. So team leads quiz is waiting for you. You are requested to please go to your emails and click on the link for the quiz 1. The time of your quiz starts now. Thank you.
Thanks, Muzamil. So while you guys are attending the quiz, I'll take a little bit of time to thank our speakers. Starting from Nancy, thanks a lot for joining us, even these late hours. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thanks to Dr. Edward. Thanks, Prof. Lawrence. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Sandro, and the entire HKN team for doing a great job preparing our speakers, panelists to get our session done right. I would also like to thank our panelist speakers, Kundan, Chitapon, and Abo for joining us. And it has been a great session. I hope that Region 10 students have learned a lot more about HKN Society. So last but not least, let me also thank our moderator, Prof. Supavati, for doing a great job and conclude the session on time. So I believe that you guys might have a lot of Q&As. So we'll get those questions at the networking session. So our team will drop the networking link in the chat as well. And the link has been also emailed to all of y'all. Let me thank our team, especially Dimple. Dimple, are you here? Would you like to say something? Dimple is the lead volunteer who planned everything. Thank you, Dimple. Would you like to say something?
Thank you, Shavi. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Shavi, so much. Thank you, Professor Supavati. Thank you, all the speakers, all the panelists for accepting our invitation and being here at the session. The session was really grateful. And yes, Savitya, thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Great, Dimple, great. So let's join in the networking sessions. I hope our speakers will there too. So we'll be able to discuss more further about HKN, how to form a chapter and many more at the networking sessions. So see you all. And last but not least, tomorrow our session will be at 1 p.m. Bangkok time. We'll be bringing 4 speakers from different multinational companies. So don't miss the session, guys. More details will be sent to y'all as a reminder before end of today. Thanks a lot.
So thank you. Yeah. So we off to the
Yeah, thank you.
Networking.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.